Polish trains just keep getting better. In recent years, Poland has revitalized its train building industry, with brand new trains rolling out of local factories and not just onto Polish rails but even winning orders abroad. Quickly becoming a player to watch in the European rail scene. Today, we'll be checking out the newest addition to PKP's long-distance express train fleet, the 200 km per hour Newag Griffin locomotive, paired with some freshly built Polish intercity carriages. So join me for a trip from Warsaw to Katowice as we sample the onboard dining, check out the train's interior, and find out what Poland's brand new trains really are like. We'll start our journey from the Warsaw Eastern Railway Station, which is one of the 3 principal stations in the city most long-distance services stop at. The station has existed since 1866 with the opening of the railway line from Tiraspol, which the station was also formerly named after. But the building standing today is from 1969 after the station was destroyed in World War II. It's not winning any awards for architectural beauty these days, but it does the job. And I quite like it. It still has all the amenities you'd expect of a big station, but it's a lot quieter than the central station. While there is a large ticket office available, it's less relevant these days with most PKP trains having online ticketing available. There's also a large food court here on the eastern end of the station, but I got yelled at by an old lady for filming in there, so just trust me on this one. All platforms are accessed via the central underpass, and as I'm here about 50 minutes before my train departs, we have some time to check out all the different trains serving the station. Warsaw East acts as the main starting and terminating point for many services to and from Warsaw, thanks to its proximity to PKP's large train depot in the city. It's also a major railway junction where main lines from all over eastern Poland, as well as Gdansk, merge before continuing into the heart of Warsaw. In addition to the long-distance trains operated by PKP, the station also sees plenty of suburban and regional services pass through every couple of minutes. But also this 1970s former German regional train, now used by the company Short Lines to operate a 6-hour trip down to the Ukrainian border, including an overnight service. So while Polish rail is definitely improving, there's still a few things left to work on. Anyway, that was enough talking about other trains. Here comes our service, hauled by this brand new Polish-built locomotive. This is the 200 km per hour multi-system variant of the Newag Griffin locomotive family. Introduced last year and still in production, ours came in a special livery promoting a Polish event about railway models and Children's Railway Day. Right behind our locomotive we have one of PKP's newly domestically manufactured first-class carriages, built in 2022 by HCP Poznan. And I know many rail fans will be very happy to see that in Poland they are still building old-school compartment carriages. Although I'm not one of those, as I generally prefer the modern airline-style seated carriages, since I find compartments often lack proper tables and I don't like being trapped in a compartment on a busy train when traveling alone. Luckily for me, the train isn't busy today and I have an empty compartment as we depart Warsaw East Railway Station on time at 15:14. Soon after navigating our way out of the station, the Warsaw skyline becomes visible in the distance. With our journey now having started, I think it's about time we take a look at the route map for today's journey. We are catching Express Intercity Service 1410, starting from Warsaw Eastern Railway Station and making stops at Central and Western Railway Station before heading on the main line towards southern Poland, making stops in Zawiercie and Sosnowiec before Katowice, where I will end my journey. This is a distance of 302 kilometers covered in 2 hours 52 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 105 kilometers per hour. Afterwards, the train continues a few more stops south to terminate at Shortly after departure, we head into the heart of Warsaw, crossing the Vistula River on a bridge before diving into a tunnel beneath the city center. We then arrive at the large underground central railway station, the busiest station in the city. Our train is scheduled to stop here for around 15 minutes to allow everyone to board. We just have to continue to make one more stop in Warsaw before our train can really start delivering on its Express Intercity name. We are now arriving at Warsaw West. The station is currently in its final phase of the huge reconstruction works here, adding a massive new station building and completely overhauling the station, showing that it's not only the rolling stock side of things in Poland that's seeing heavy investment, it's also the rail infrastructure. After our fairly slow crawl through Warsaw, we can finally start picking up the speed. And we don't have to go far before reaching today's maximum speed of 160 km per hour. Unfortunately, despite many of Poland's newer trains and carriages now being capable of 200 km per hour, very few lines actually allow for these speeds just yet. Much of the infrastructure still relies on outdated signaling and power systems that simply can't perform at the level needed for higher speed operations. That's also the case on the CMK line we are currently traveling on, connecting Warsaw with Katowice and Kraków, which is one of Poland's most important railway lines. While the track alignment technically allows for speeds up to 250 km per hour, many sections still need significant upgrades to even go beyond 160. That said, there are plenty of plans in the works to both upgrade existing lines and build entirely new dedicated high-speed routes. So hopefully, with continued investment into Poland's railways, it won't be too long before you're cruising at 200 or even 250 km per hour along most of this route. Poland is one of the countries who still offer complimentary onboard service in first class on its premium trains. On Express Intercity premium services, this consists of water, a soft drink like juice and a small chocolate or granola bar. But for anything more substantial, you'll have to order that in the dining car, which we'll check out a little later in the video. But first, I think we should have a look at the first class compartments. Just like many old school compartments, the door can easily be shut and you can even lock it using a knob. Above the door, you will find a control panel for the compartment, allowing you to adjust the light, announcement volume, as well as temperature. There's plenty of space for luggage on the two shelves above each row of seats. And the seats themselves look pretty comfortable. While this particular seat in the middle could definitely do with a bit more cleaning, the seats themselves really deliver on padding and have a nice ergonomic shape. I found them to be really comfortable, getting a good balance. The seat offers recline using this red lever by the base. A good amount of recline is offered and it's very comfortable to relax in this position. Between the seats you'll also find a cup holder. Every seat gets their own armrest and these were padded too, which is a nice touch. Behind the armrest there's a USB and regular power outlet, but unfortunately this cannot be used if the armrests are moved up. My biggest complaint with these compartments is that the table is not big enough to fit a laptop, which does seem like a bit of a miss on a first class product introduced a few years ago. Also, trash bin. Overall, comfy seats, a quiet carriage and plenty of legroom. I like it. While the scenery on this route is nothing to write home about, the train is equipped with free Wi-Fi, allowing you to scroll TikToks if you want. It's pretty easy to connect to, you just head to the login page and once it loads, you just tap to connect. And the speeds are perfectly usable, especially for on a train. But if you're not the type who endlessly scrolls TikToks on trains, you can of course go for a wander instead. So let's go see what the rest of the train is like. As you'd expect, the rest of this carriage is just more compartments with first class seating. And they haven't changed the location of the toilet either, with one at each end of the carriage. This was looking pretty clean and still in great condition. The water was working There was also stocked up plenty with soap. Although somebody seemed to have stolen all the paper towels. At least the hand dryer was working. Overall, the toilet was very clean and fully functional, so thumbs up. On board the train, you'll of course also find second-class seating. This both comes in modern airline-style carriages and some compartment carriages as well. Polish trains are also known for their great onboard dining, and this train also carries a full-scale dining car. However, an amazing thing about Polish trains is that you don't actually have to go to the dining car to eat, no matter if you're in first or second class. As you can simply use the MWARS app to order any kind of food from the dining car menu, and the staff will bring it straight to your seat. You simply just enter where you are sat, choose if you want to pay by card or cash, and send the order off to the dining car. It's that simple. And just 15 minutes later, the crew came around with some delicious pierogi and a slice of cheesecake. Nothing beats some delicious train food, and for 53 zloty, I thought the price for these two items was acceptable. And after completing our long non-stop run from Warsaw, we are now pulling into Zawiercie. Here we arrive next to a train by the other large Polish rolling stock manufacturer, PKP, with one of their ELF commuter trains. And with just about half an hour to go and one more intermediate stop, let's talk about tickets. For this particular train service, prices vary based on demand and amount of tickets sold. Prices start from 109 zloty in first class and 66 zloty in second class. Both prices seem very reasonable, especially considering the IEC is one of the fastest trains on this route. Tickets are easily booked online either through the official PKP website or their app. The final stretch of our journey into Katowice is quite slow, as the line is currently undergoing major upgrades, which is a fitting moment to sum up the trip. Polish trains have come a long way. Not that long ago, it was mostly old carriages and lots of second-hand rolling stock, but there's been a real push to modernize. New long-distance trains like this one are being rolled out, and regional lines are seeing a similar investment. A lot of this momentum is driven by Polish train manufacturers like Newag and PKP, who are building new trains that can rival those of the big names. Though Newag had a bit of a scandal recently about sabotaging their own trains. Overall, there's clearly a big push to improve things, and if the infrastructure catches up, allowing for higher train speeds, Poland's railway network might be the one to watch in the coming years. So as I alight here after a great journey with PKP, it's time for me to remind you to subscribe to the channel, as I post a new video like this every Sunday. You can also check out my blue sky at intercitysimon.com, where I post live from my travels. Thanks for watching.